The requirement is you must make a good faith, reasonable determination that this borrower can pay back that loan. And you have to look at things like debt to income and their specific things. What's the big deal? Why is this, why do we care about all of this? Well, it comes down to court when you're going to go to court, because I don't have to tell you, going to court is very expensive. Okay. So during the global financial crisis, you may recall that there was actually a cottage industry that sprung up in various places all over the country where attorneys were going through and actually having borrowers who were struggling. They were paying their attorneys to tie up the foreclosure process, and they could do it almost indefinitely. Okay, an attorney could come in, they could tie it up with discovery requests, and they could look through the files, and in fact, in some cases, there were attorneys that were going out and saying, "Hey, what's your mortgage payment for the month? Oh, you paid $2,600 a month. Tell you what, for $1,500 a month, I will tie up your foreclosure case indefinitely. I will file all kinds of motions. I will, have discovery requests. We can delay this thing for years while you're not paying your mortgage. You just pay your attorney and we'll take care of that." And a cottage industry sprung up around this. So when you go to court on a mortgage foreclosure, a consumer mortgage foreclosure, it can get very expensive very fast. So that is the carrot here. Your QM status will give you special protections and leverage in court so that you don't get tied up in one of those endless foreclosure situations. Okay, so so for non-QM loans, so loans that don't meet the standards that we're going to talk about here for qualified mortgage, then you just have to demonstrate that you made that good faith determination. They can come in, and the attorney can come in and say, "No, I don't think you made a good faith determination." And then you have to prove it up in court. And you just duke it out. So there's no safe harbor for you. Now, then we have a conclusive safe harbor. Now, a conclusive safe harbor is when you go in and let's say this thing goes to court. And the judge says, they ask right at the beginning of the case, and they say, "Is this a QM loan?" And you say, "Yes, Your Honor, this is a QM loan." Case closed. You're done. You have a conclusive safe harbor that you made that good faith determination. They can't even challenge you. Okay. Then there's another category. So that's conclusive safe harbor QM. Then we have another category of QMs that aren't quite as solid as that conclusive safe harbor. We have a rebuttable presumption QM, and you can see it's broken out in your outline there. And we'll get to the we'll get to the matrix in just a moment. But I just want to make sure we understand these concepts. The rebuttable presumption QMs, then you can go to court. And you really should win these, because the presumption is the court will assume that you made your good faith determination and you followed all those ATR rules. And they would have the opportunity to prove that you did not. So in other words, instead of being case closed, where the judge says, they slam the gavel down and said, "It's a QM, conclusive safe harbor, we're done here." You can go in. The presumption is that you followed the rules. But they can bring in evidence. If they can dig something out of your file to say that, you didn't follow the rules, or maybe there was a problem here, or you can't document that you did, whatever the case may be, they can prove that maybe you didn't follow it. So most of the time you're going to win because you have that presumption in your hand, but they can challenge it. But remember, if there's no QM, then it's back to the old days where you just go to court and you have to go in and you have to prove your case. Okay, so that is the benefit, and that is the difference between the QM, the conclusive safe harbor QMs, and the rebuttable presumption QMs versus no safe harbor.